What I want to do first when we go through the kata is to think about the breathing and what's the right way to keep your energy up during the kata by making sure that you're using the breathing correct. So at the start of the kata, after we've done yoi, before we make the first move, we take a breath in and then drop, breathing out. From here, before I move, quick inhale through the nose, then breathe out as I move, as I step in towards my left side, and then repeat in, out. Coming behind again, quick breath in, then twist, exhaling. And use the exhale as you contract the shoulders together behind your back. That helps you to get the air out. Then, quick breath in, and then in again, and out. Then, before we move, quick breath in, and we stop there. So back to the start. So we just want to get that timing of the breathing. When I'm doing a kata, where I'm really completely under my own control as to when each move starts and stops, I try to make sure that I inhale before I move and not use the start of the movement to make the inhalation. If you change your breathing from in to out while you're moving forward or moving sideways, it can lead to the movement being slow. So from here, in, then out, and as soon as I'm out and I'm locked and I have my kime moment, I breathe in, and then breathe out, and then in, out. Going back, breathing in, then out, in, out, in, out. And then from here, in and turn into Moroto Uchiki. The double blocks can be performed in a single breath. There's no reason why you can't. It changes the timing slightly. So if you're going to do those movements and you want to emphasize power in the movements, you might go dum, dum, taking a short breath in between. If you prefer to do the kata emphasizing the speed, you might do the double blocks all in one outward breath. But even if you do that, you shouldn't let the first move, the first of the double blocks, shouldn't flow through. So I'll go towards the camera. Here, breathe it out. I breathe in. Here, one, there must be a stop moment there, and then here. And not getting to here and going. Okay, so you shouldn't flick through them. There should be a very definitive power moment and power moment. But you don't have to breathe in between the two movements. Okay, and back to here. Again, as I've said several times, make sure that when you do the first movement, you're just going straight down and not in the direction. Don't let your body move in any sense in the direction. I find what helps me to hold the center, is that as I go down, I use the back leg of the kokutsudachi. I create a tension along here, making sure that I hold that knee above the foot. So a lot of people move, when they go sideways into a back stance, they move over like this, and so that the knee is out of position. If you focus on pushing down and holding that knee, so you've got to hold that knee exactly where it is above the foot. It should stay in line above the foot. The knee should be just over the base of the big toe. That's not always 100% possible. Everybody's body shape is a bit different, but that's what you're aiming for. And also make sure as you make that first move, when you're here, this foot is in Shizentai. Your right foot is in Shizentai. When you drop, if you leave it in Shizentai, the angle between your feet is incorrect. Also, the knee will drift off. If I go down with that in Shizentai, the knee just instinctively goes too far inside. So as you go down, you've got to squeeze this foot in. You've got to go from here to here. And as you do that, use that to be what causes that knee to lock. So here, ich, ni, san. Shi, and again, as I make this turn, I pull that foot in and use that use the twisting motion here to lock the knee down here. So, rock, sich, hach, and turning, ich. From here, pushing down with this. There's no need to withdraw the right hand, okay? But you must make this a distinctive move. So don't, again, be closer to the thing. Don't go as if it was one movement. Before stepping forward, before nukete, there is osayuke. So from here, osayuke, and then nukete. Okay? And the breathing from here, in. So here, very definitely, there is not a, you don't lock the breathing when you've completed the osayuke. Osayuke, I believe, means pushing block. So it doesn't have a lock moment like a soto-uke. It's just it's a pressing block or a pushing block. So from here, in, okay? Now, from here, breathing. Well, in fact, when I do this, performing the kata, I don't take a breath here. So I've gone as far as here, and then I tend to just continue on with the same breath. I've stopped once, and I use the remaining breath to push aside and turn here. And this is where I take my next breath, from here. I'll show you just from the side here. A lot of people, when you get into kibarachi here, for them to move forward, they have to unlock their legs. Do it sideways. So often when we go to unlock the legs, we have to move up slightly, okay? In reality, what we want to do is to open this foot and let your body fall. So open this foot and let that cause, that's the start of you driving in. So from here, okay? So in here, I've taken an in breath and then through, okay? So that feeling, okay? So it's not from here and stepping, it's just you open the foot and the body falls. And that's the start of it, okay? So, let's go back to the start. Yoi. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Rock. Sich. Now again, because we're operating in a confined space, I'm going to pull this back. Ach. Ku. So again, if you're in a confined space, go over, pull that in. Ju. So when performing the kata, you want to push this out. From here, you say you want to open that out. If you're in a confined space, you have to pull it back in. And go to the kiai. Okay, so we start again, and we just count all the way through to the kiai. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, ach, ku, ju. Okay. From here, as I execute the step up, a very, very common fault for people is they've just got as far as the kiai, there's a bit of tension in the body because this is a kime point, and they relax that tension and lean forward. So I'd say more than half the people who perform Heian Sandan lean forward at this moment. And when I'm judging a competition, it's one of the things that I look for when people get to there. Are they using their legs to make this turn, or are they using this part here? We talk about the hara, which literally means the stomach, but actually in karate, in Funakoshi's book, he talks about the tanden. The tanden is It's like the center of the body. He describes it at times almost like it's the spiritual center, but really it's the center of gravity of the body. It is the point that you always work towards in all of your techniques. So from here, when you make the turn, make sure to contract this enough that you come up with the body staying vertical the whole time. So get to here, you just key-eyed, turn. And when I do this, I'm breathing in. Okay. And up. The feet must come to Haisukadachi. And they must come to Haisukadachi in one move. So from here, oh, sorry, I just slipped after saying must do it in one move. I'll do it again. So the feet come perfectly together in one move, and it's worth spending time doing just this move to practice that. You don't step the back foot forward from here. As I inhale, I use the tanden. So I'm breathing in. As I breathe in, I'm dropping my stomach to get the air deep into my lungs, but I'm also pulling in on the abdomen. So the back leg is pulled into position rather than stepping forward. So if you think this is being a step, you'll lean and you'll step, even if you don't take your foot off the ground that much. Think of it as being a turn through your tanden and pulling the back leg in. And that way it will pull in and land exactly beside your other foot. Okay, from here, again, we had somebody in the class now a couple of years ago who had a theory about washing your teeth. And he said every time you wash your teeth, you have to jiggle your backside. And then he says, I won't say he proved, because obviously that would have been a terrible distraction in the middle of a class, but he put it out to us as a challenge. Can you brush your teeth without this bit wobbling? Sometimes we connect bits of the body together in our head that don't really belong together, but there's a point of convenience of linking them. Here we need to break that link. So what happens here, people go to lift the right foot, but to do it, they drop the shoulders forward. So I see this an awful lot. Okay? And again, it tells me that the core is not being used. So as you do this slowly, and core to go up, and staying through the core. As I drop into position, I drop through the core. So I go deep into a Kibadachi stance. I've put the right shoulder just slightly ahead of the left shoulder, and the elbow then extends a bit further out. I go from this position here, the elbow goes further out. Some people, when they get to here, drop the shoulder, and this is incorrect. It's particularly something you see at the junior members do, but you must try to hold your core here, so it's just a small push here. This hand, as it comes up directly, out uraken, and it can come back directly. Many schools teach it this way, but Murakami, when he teaches this kata, he just turns the fist over and continues it through this way. And actually I prefer that. JKA schools tend to be out and back, not all of them, but many of them. The skiff approach seems to be out and back. Again, as you move forward out of here, the correct thing to do is to twist both feet in order to line up. We don't have that luxury when we're training in a confined space, so we have to pull back to here. And it's important that as you pull back, keep the back straight. Left knee up and in. Out and back. Left foot back. Right knee up. Land again. Slide forward. Out and back. And then out. So the breathing for all of this, obviously when I get to here, I've turned, I've breathed in. So I don't need to breathe in again. I've got as far as here. I breathe in as I bring the fist up, out and back to here. Next, as I turn, just before I move, short intake of breath, start the turn, coming through this way. When you do it in a confined space, breathe in as you pull back, knee up, you're breathing out as the knee comes up, in, out, back. Breathing in, knee up, out. Breathing out. From the minute you lift the knee up, you're breathing out. Out, back. Now breathing in. Try, as you breathe in, to allow your stomach to fall forward a bit. Make sure that you tighten this elbow behind you. So again, you're trying to squeeze your, what do they call it, your scapula. You're trying to squeeze your scapula together from here. Sorry, see the hand. From here, squeeze. Out to here, and at this point, I don't breathe in. So I've gone here, and then directly open here. If you're training slowly, you can take an in-breath here. When I perform the kata, I don't. So from here, and if I can, directly without a breath, over. Heian. So, we just take 3 key things here. Number 1, when you go from Shizentai into Kibarachi, you think in terms of pushing your body down only, and to help you with that, you anchor your knee by pulling in the foot, creating a tension along here. Secondly, when you do your breathing, breathe in before you move. If you are going to breathe in, don't breathe in on the move. And lastly, as you move forward, always try to imagine that the point that's being moved is here, your tanden, danqian is what the Chinese call it. Here is what you move through. So always envisage this being the first. We sometimes do an exercise in the class where somebody pulls your belt and you have to perform the kata, whatever kata you're doing, against somebody pulling your belt forward. And what that discourages you from doing is moving your shoulders in initially. So we don't have somebody, you have to imagine that's the point that is always going forward. It's always the center point. Alright, that's enough talk. Yoi. Heian Sandan. So, 2 things I want to point out. From here, of the 3 people I watched, 2 moved the shoulder, moved the body before the knee moved. So you went from here to here to here. So you used your upper body to go forward as if it was picking up the knee, and then it picked up the knee. And what you must do from here is again squeeze here, squeeze at the tanden. So directly, no body leaning, directly. The body comes down, you drop a little bit because the supporting leg moves into a deeper bend, but not forward, back, lift. Okay? So watch that in yourself when if you record yourself. Also, when we land, out of this we come up and we land down, and it's the sinking into Kibarachi that brings our elbow forward, and not landing in Kibarachi and then twisting your elbow forward. There's no power in that technique. So in fact, the knee comes up and I go down as if I was stepping straight down. And then as I get to here, that's when I twist. So you leave it to the end to twist the body and the shoulder and elbow into Kibarachi. Let's move on to Heian Yondan. So from here, the first move in Heian Yondan, exactly the same principles apply as with the first move of Heian Sandan. Dropping straight down, tightening the back leg in order to, twisting the foot in, tightening the knee in order to give myself stability and to stay centered. My head comes around, the hands come up. And as I said before, the hands, the right hand points at the left wrist. And if I go in front of the camera, the left hand is behind my head, the right hand is in front of my head. They shouldn't be in the same line here. They're here. Okay? So, first move. Now, I did that by moving the foot out slowly and lifting the hands out slowly. And that's the way I've learnt it. But in fact, most skiff practitioners simply go, move the foot in one go and then bring the hands. Both are correct, but this is probably the best way to do it for skiff training here. Keeping this tight. Even though I look as if I'm relaxed, this is tight. Now I move over and tighten this again. So relax for a second and then move out, okay? The breathing, in, out. Then in, shift, out. Okay? So don't move over and then try and breathe in. You're here, breathe in, shift, and breathe out. Okay? Stay keeping that leg, that knee focused. From here, hands come to the shoulder, the right foot turns to the front and down. Juji uke. Then from here, pull back, marote uke. Okay, so just those 4 movements for now. And again, from here, ich, ni, san, shi. Okay. From here, now we spent most of the class on Thursday night doing the next few movements. So here, kick, bring the foot back. Sorry, did that badly after saying we spent all here, kick, back, down, and strike. Go. Then over, kick, back, hand stays, down, and then hip and elbow. Now from here, 1, 2. So I'm looking forward, but my body is looking off at an angle, okay? Because to not move, for my body to not be facing at an angle, I'd have to have a loose core here. So to tighten that core, to tighten the legs, that's the tight position here. Then maigeri, and then push this down while the right fist comes up. Otoshi uraken. And again, squeezing the scapula together. Okay, back to the start. Yoi. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Rock. Sich. Ach. Ku. Ju. Ich. And back, yeah, mate. Back to the start. Hi-yoi. So, the opening movements of this kata, they've been stylized. That is to say, we do them in slow motion, and we do them relaxed. The arms are relaxed, the lats are pulled down, they're tightened, the core is tightened, but the arms are loose. And when we go from position 1 to position 2, we shouldn't lose too much of that looseness, okay? So, I don't like to go down this fast. From here, it's looking forward, then you haven't shifted into your stance correctly. It should be what's called gaku kaiten, gaku hamne. So it's reversed a small bit. You've gone through. Same movement that you have, same position that you have when we do basai dai. And go. And back. Yame. So just if I try to get close to the camera, I'm going to show this movement here. From here, the next move in the kata, this is up at eye level. This hand comes back, this hand goes down over it. So this is osayuke. This is coming up uraken. Same when we were doing Heian Sandan, otoshi uraken. Here. Now I'm doing it forward. Same when I was here in Heian Sandan and I push down osayuke. From here, this pushes down. So this is an important part. It doesn't just fall down and it doesn't drop inside the other hand. Down, back, and out. Okay. So practice that movement. Okay. But don't forget when we get to here, hikite is important. It's like all the other movements. So I see some people getting to here and then they do the kick. but this hand is already over, and it's almost the fist here is almost on top of their belly button while they're doing the kick, and it should be here. Here pulls the body into the alignment. Here means that you're going to do a kick like this, and then you lose your balance and you fall into that. Here, to control the body. So it's the kick, whoops, there goes my earpiece, down, and then the body goes in. So it's a controlled landing. Okay, we got as far as here. Now again, the next few movements we were training on Thursday night, so I won't spend long at those. Ich, ni, san, shi. Ich, ni, san, shi. Then into back stance. Ich, ni, san, shi. Go. Toes pointed down as I do this. So the hands has come right down past the knee. They've turned into fists. And then I land. Shuto. And then go forward. Shuto. If you have room. And back. So back to here. Back to Kozarach. Excellent, excellent, excellent. We all back. Okay, good. Back to here. Moving each. From here, don't let the hands move. Ni, san, shi. Then change over here. Ich, ni, san, shi. Now again, I don't have space, so all these movements will be done on the spot. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. And for skiff, we point the toes down. Then rock, sich. I'm just going to do this bit from the side here. So I was here, one, two. From here, when I move from front stance into back stance, left foot moves. Then, as I go forward, the hands, they just roll over. Roll over. And then roll back the opposite way. Okay, roll out. Oh, sorry, they're here. They roll over, they roll out, and they roll back. Okay? When I say roll, I mean it's the fist. It's the fist that was here. It comes out and rolls back, and it rolls up. Okay? When I get to the last one from here, I push out. Hands at the same level as my head, not up here, here. Push the hizageri in, tighten your back so it goes in hard. And then as I turn in shuto. Don't land and then do shuto. Okay? And then forward shuto. Okay, let's go back to here. So that's nice, those are, the katas are tidy. The piece that I see most people having difficulty with in terms of executing is that from here, up, kick, back. So when I move down, I must get my foot down first and my hip must not turn in. So foot down and my hip only turns in with the empty. So let me go one, back, and then bring it back, which is great, but then they turn in and they're already in showman and then they bring the elbow in. So you must not bring your foot in and be in showman and then bring your ankle. When I say you must not, look, this is a finer point of the kata. When we teach this to juniors, when we teach this to people who are learning the kata for the first time, we don't explain this because it's about learning the 27 movements. From here, as we go past that kata and we're working on other katas, we go back and we revisit it. Out, back, down. And I'm down on it, it's almost like my body's still turned facing this way. Down and then MP, okay? But then the MP has power. Out, down, MP. So you're going to delay the hip movement until you're making the MP. And not come down with your hand out there already in showman and then it's just this. Now, that's really good. Strongly suggest use your mobile phone, record yourself. See if you can spot any things like forward body, upper body moving before it should. Stances, not twisting in, as I like that exercise there. There's a few of them in Heian Sandan. Make sure that the elbow comes out as you twist your hips and not in and then elbow separately. So just pick one or two of those details, record yourself, look at it a few times. You'll know yourself whether you're doing it right or not. That's all. Thanks very much for coming.